Hello, everyone. Welcome, every one of you to today's farmers training series. This is the first of its kind. For the past 4 years, we'll be working really hard to help farmers succeed in agriculture. That's why we started with agroforafrica.com, a website that helps farmers to succeed in agriculture. But today we want to take it a notch higher. Want to make it very practical, and I've invited some of my friends who are experts in different aspects of agriculture. And today we'll be starting with mushroom farming. So it gives me great pleasure to be hosting this program. My name is Mbazo Chibuzo Emmanuel. So for those of you who have not subscribed to this channel yet, please click on the red subscribe button down there under the video and subscribe to this channel, because this series is going to run over and over again. We'll continue to bring more and more experts to train you guys on different aspects of agriculture. So click on the red subscribe button to join the community. And if you have not joined our private WhatsApp groups, I'm going to leave a link to the website. So you go to the website and just click on the join WhatsApp group, so you become a member of this community. So without further ado, let's get to the business of today. We are going to be looking at mushroom farming. So I've invited one of my very good friends, Mr. Idantoye Cookie. He is an expert in mushroom farming. So he's the CEO of Proki Imports and Exports Merchants, and he's in partnership with another company that is going to be training us on mushroom farming. So let's get down to this. This training is really practical. Like, we have to spend so much time to make sure this is very practical. This has been like months of preparation to make all of this available for you. So just get your pen, get your writing materials, your book, and jot down as the lesson goes on. Also, I want you, as the lesson goes on, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section immediately. Don't wait to the end of the program. Drop it in the comment section immediately so that we can put it up on the screen once it gets to your time for question and answer. So drop your comments in the question. And one more thing, share this video with everybody you know. Click on the share button, share it on WhatsApp, on your WhatsApp status, to every group. Share it. Let's blow up the internet with this program. And right now we are going to go over into the main video of the day, which is the main teaching of the day, where Mr. Idantoye Cookie is going to be taking us on mushroom farming. Do enjoy, and I'll see you at the end. I'll see you at the end of this.
Before we go into today's business. Now, here is a great partner's farmhouse, and we walk in the gate. So when you come into our farm, first, number one thing you will notice at this bag, these are the first bag. These are the bags we brought in from the sawmill. That's when we were bringing our material from the sawmill. That's sawdust. These are sawdust bag, just ordinary sawdust, nothing. And we will quickly take you to our compost pile. Here we have, this is a composition of sawdust. Let me move this guys aside. Okay, now what we have here, some people have been here and they will tell me, Shebi is ordinary sawdust now. Where it will shock you that it is no longer ordinary sawdust. If you can see, some of it is even very black, meaning it is well composted already. So this is sawdust and some other supplement that is inside. It's not ordinary sawdust again. I will be mentioning those three materials that are involved here. But immediately this material is ready, the next place is you bag them into bag like this. This form of bag. Well, I will tell you the reason why we have these ones here. They are not supposed to be anyway, but we will get into all of that. Somebody was mentioning on the group about contamination. We will talk about that. Now, once we have them bagged like this, the next place is the firehouse. That's where we sterilize those bags before taking them to where they actually belong. This is our firehouse where we sterilize those bags I show you guys there, because without sterilizing, you will have to battle a lot with contamination. And like somebody on the group said, he said, I've been doing this and I've actually not seen a mushroom since. And I laughed when the person made this, because I understand the reason and I understand what the person is actually feeling as at that time. So this is where you settle this course, coupled with other procedure. So we will be going into the incubation room now, which we will be talking a lot in details about some other things in there. So this is our incubation room, and you can see that when I get here, I pause. I have to pause because this room is not a room you just enter anywhere. And like every other business, they have their risk and challenges. And the major challenge and major problem of a major issue, any other language that you can use for this statement in mushroom production, is contamination. In this farm, me and the team, when you see us, when we get to the time we want to move the material into this place, all we do and talk is contamination. In fact, as a matter of fact, somebody came in one day and said, this mushroom business, it means you have to be doing ablution. You understand why or what it means by that. Now, before I can enter this room, or before anybody can enter this room, there are procedures. Number one thing, if you want to talk in your incubation room at all, you must have this nose mask. You can see that this nose mask is with me right from the beginning of this video. So you need this nose mask. If you don't have a glove in your hand, make sure you don't touch anything, because I tell you, we carry organisms, we carry microorganisms all around us. So the fear of contamination is the beginning of wisdom in mushroom production. So before we enter, I have to pull my sander. Okay. After doing that, come close. This is a bowl of water, ordinary water. Then with IPO, you know the reason why we're doing this shortly. IPO kills germs. So with hypochlorite, once you pour IPO, you rinse your hand. You rinse your hand. You dip your leg in the water. My cameraman will also be doing the same thing, but he will only be cleaning or rinsing his leg there. Now, once you are done doing that, then you are set to go in. So I will be going in. Okay. Please, Mr. Cameraman, no talking. I know you understand the procedure anyway. Now, this is our incubation room. I've taken you from the beginning where we have our sawdust in bags, then moving it to a pile where we mix them with other materials that is needed. And after that, we put them in bags like this. But before we bring them in here, we have sterilized them in the firehouse, which we showed you before now. Now, If you can see, all the places I've been showing you since morning, they are very open field. There are places you can see very well, but you can tell there is a little difference in this room, right? I call it dark room. Why? Because there must be little entry of oxygen in your incubation room for you to get the right result. Now, after this, after I show you, after I mention the whole of this, some of these things, I will be talking about the terminologies of mushroom production in about, I think, the third video now, which is still today anyway. Now, your incubation room must be black but not darkness anyway. You should prevent anywhere there is ray of light coming in. Mushroom production, if you go into the wild, you will see that they are always under a canopy of tree or on a tree. You can't see them where there is a direct sunlight. So where you must put a structure that can do the same thing when you are producing mushroom. So this is our own incubation room. And as you can see we have a lot of bags here. We have a lot of bags here. Move closer. Some of the bags will be ready in about a week or two. Some of them will be ready, almost all of them anyway, will be ready at that time. Now, the next thing you will be needing, because I might not want to come into this place again after I go out. So, there is what we call, I will be explaining it a little bit more. These are the seed we are producing. Now, like the person asked on the group, that why is it getting contamination all the time? There is a lot of things that can cause it. Your spawn, which is called seed, can cause it. Your sterilizing period, your procedure and all that can be part of it. But this is the seed we will be using practically for this training as we move forward. So what else do I need to talk about here? Okay. Now, I think we are done in this incubation room. Okay. That's breathtaking, man. So, now, a little bit more about the incubation room. The incubation room, in the real sense of it, some of the people in this group has already been here, they've seen it. There is more oxygen in the fruiting room. I mean here. This place we are standing now. This is the fruiting room. You can see there is more lightning here. Here is not as dark as the incubation room. Another experience in the incubation room is it is a little bit warmer there. Why? Because there is less inflow of oxygen in the place. So now this is our fruiting room. Now this fruiting room is where we remove those bags I show you guys in the incubation room. Two, we will be moving those bags from the incubation room to this place in about a week or two, maximum in 2 weeks. Now, and once we move them here, we will be hanging them this way, or we will be hanging them like this you're seeing, or we arrange them on the shelf or in whatever means that is easy for us to achieve while reducing our costs. The number one terminology that I'll be talking about is called inoculation. Inoculation in mushroom production simply means planting your seed on the bag planting your seed in the block. Now, like those bags that I show you guys down there that we were hanging, each of them are called block. The same bags I show you in the incubation room, they are all called blocks. So inoculation simply means planting seed in your block. That's number one term. The number two term that we'll be talking about is incubation room. I believe I've shown you guys the incubation rather. I've shown you guys the incubation room, and in the general sense or the general simple English, incubation means like a, say for instance, a particular house that is housing either a baby or whatever best understanding you have about that. But incubation in mushroom production means keeping your blocks in a room that the flow of oxygen there is very low until the bag ramify. Now the next statement or the next term I'll be talking about is ramification, because once your block gets into the incubation room, the next stage of it is ramification, meaning those blocks turning white. Let me quickly show you something. Now, when we first bag this block, it's going to be this brownish. It's going to be this brownish, just like a normal sawdust that water has been added to. This is the way it's going to look like. But when it becomes ramified, okay, like those bags I show you in the incubation room, if you go back to that video, you see that those bags are actually turning white. That is ramification. Ramification is when a block is turning white. Sometimes we call it snow white, and that is ramification. Which is a very essential part of this business. Spawn is just like your seed. When you want to plant any plant, when you are planting, be it beans, maize, or whatsoever, you get a seed, you till the soil, and you plant it. The same ideology. The soil of mushroom is sawdust and some other components. Now, the seed is what we call spawn. Once you get your spawn, you plant it. That's you inoculate your soil. That's which is our substrate bag or block. Now, so spawn is what we actually use as seed in mushroom production. In one word, spawn simply means seed. Thank you. And the next thing we'll be talking about is substrate. Now, our substrate is your sawdust coupled with wheat brown or wheat offer, coupled with a particular industrial salt called calcium carbonate. These are the three components that will be mixed in a particular proportion to give you what we call substrate. Like the place I show you the other time, that we have what is it called? That I called a compost pile. Like that's this room that I show you in one of the video. Yes. Or let's go out so that you can see it properly from here. Okay. So the combination of sawdust, wheat offer, and calcium carbonate is what makes up a substrate, which is the soil for your spawn to produce mushroom at the end of the cycle. So that is about substrate. Now, what else? Let me see. Okay, I've talked about incubation, inoculation. I've talked about ramification, substrate, and spawn. Okay, one last thing that I mixed is the sterilization. Now, when talking about sterilization, it's like important of this business, because if you don't get it, know how you can get successful. It's as simple sterilization need to start checking. I believe you that the essence of sterilizing is necessary, very very serious. If I can mention it like 1,000 times, I will keep saying that. And the hours at which you sterilize will go a very long way to how long or how far your business is contamination. And the basic or the first place to fight contamination is to kill every germs in your substrate, because you can't have a substrate on the floor like this and you expect it to be germ free. So you must, as in the word sterilizing, must ring in your head often and often. In fact, a major procedure in mushroom production, that is cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. When I mean cleaning, even if it is one pinch, or if it is one strand of room you are taking into your incubation room, it must be sterilized. It must be sterilized. You must disinfect yourself. There are different ways of sterilizing. When I mean sterilizing, does not mean you need to go and cook yourself in the fireplace. Most of the time, you use hypo in a hypo solution. That is, some percentage of hypo in the water will do the job. So you must clean every damn thing that will go into your incubation room, meaning you are reducing the risk of contamination in that place. Once you can achieve that, then you are good to go. Okay, now the next thing I will quickly want to mention, okay, are the materials that you need. I think I've mentioned it, but I'll go over it again. The materials that make up your substrate. Before you can plant anything, your soil must be ready. Just like when you are planting any plant, when you are doing any other forms of agriculture, you need a soil. So you must prepare your substrate. Now, how do you prepare your substrate? You need sawdust, the fine ones, not the shavings, the fine ones. Sawdust. You need wheat offer or wheat bran. You can get this from poultry farmers, those that are actually doing poultry, that are selling poultry feed. They can direct you, they can give you contacts if you need them. That's when you get to the stage. Then the last thing is calcium carbonate. It is an industrial salt. It is an industrial salt. You get this from those people, either from Ojota market or from those people that are selling soap material. That's soap, the chemical that they are using for soap. Most of the time they do have it. So those are the material that compose, that make up your substrate. Now, we will be dealing, or we will be talking more about this, and we will be practicalizing the mixing, because there are certain percentage, there are certain proportion where you must mix those things before they can actually make up your substrate. Now, we will be dealing with that in our next section. I want you guys to research where you can get. I know everybody can get sawdust in a sawmill. Now, look in your own findings in your environment. And one very good thing that I've noticed, as far as me I'm concerned, when we are starting, almost everything we need is all around us. The further we try to go, the more we find out that most of the things we need is around us. So find out where you can get which offer, start talking to people that are doing poultry in your environment, or make contact either online or whichever means. I need an answer to that to make sure that you can get that in your environment. 2, calcium carbonate. Go to those that are selling soap material, or you go to a Ojota market. You should get calcium carbonate in those places. Once you get those 3 materials, I will be practically showing you guys how to mix those things, on how to mix those things in the proportion that is needed, and we'll be sterilizing them. I'll be showing you the sterilizing mode, the sterilizing process, the sterilizing procedure, and the numbers of hours that is needed. Then once we do that, then we can move to the next stage of the business. I will be going through the materials and be going through the business of today so that I won't waste much of our time. Now, like I mentioned that day, some of the basic material we need for this, for mushroom production. Number 1 is your sawdust. Now, when I mean sawdust, I mean those fine one, like the one you are seeing in my hand here. Those fine one, not those. There is one they call chips. Those are not what, or shavings. Those are not what we need. You need them this way. And if you have shavings, it doesn't mean it won't work, but it's just going to take longer time before it breaks down. So most of the time we'll go for this, or if you have this type that is mixed with shavings, you try to sieve it. So this is our sawdust, and I have wheat offer here. This is your wheat offer. This is like a protein or a nutrient supplement to the sawdust. Now again, when you are working with this wheat offer, okay, like somebody asked me on the group that can he use rice bran? Yes, you can, as long as it has it has some proteinous and other material with it. Rice bran, wheat bran, and what other things? Rice bran, wheat bran, the wheat offer. Those things can go. Then again, we have calcium carbonate here. This is calcium carbonate. So those are the 3 basic material that is needed for mushroom production. Now, the next thing I will be going through is the proportion at which these 3 components must be mixed together. Now, basically when you're starting, for 100 kg of sawdust, 5 kg of wheat offer, then 1 to 2 kg of calcium carbonate. Now, but what I have here is not up to 100 kg because this is just for practical purpose. Now, the only thing I do is this. Okay, this sawdust now, move close to the scale, is about 10 kg. I have 10 kg of sawdust here. Then now if the normal proportion is 100 kg to 5 kg, it means you have to do some basic calculation if I'm doing 10 kg. Now if you look at 100 kg of sawdust to 5 kg of wheat offer, that is ratio 1 to 20. That is ratio 1 to 20. It means 1 kg of wheat offer we go for 20 kg of sawdust. Now, so that is going to be our basic calculation. Now, if that is the case, it means if I'm now using 10 kg of sawdust, it means I will be using 0.5 kg. That's about 500 grams of wheat offer. I hope that is clear. If there is any mix up, you can ask us questions later at the end of, or you put on a comment on this video. Then we will try as much as possible to answer that. Then again, in line with the calcium carbonate, we will do the same. That since it's a ratio, that's a ratio 1 to 20, we'll divide the 2 kg by 20, right? That should give us the percentage of calcium carbonate that is needed for this mix up. Now, so we will quickly be doing that right now. We will be measuring the materials now. Like I said, let me quickly go over the whole thing. 10 kg of sorry for that. 10 kg of sawdust, 500 grams of wheat offer. Then we'll be using 100 grams of calcium carbonate. Now, I already scaled this. Like I said the other time, this is 10 kg. Okay, so then I'll pour it on the ground. Like I said in the last video, make sure your environment is clean. Okay, you spread it out just like you are mixing sand and cement, you know. Common sense, bro. So I will be measuring my wheat offer. First, I would like to, okay, I want to determine the weight of this plastic. This is about 54 grams. So I return it back to 0 so that when I'm scaling it with the wheat offer, I can get the exact measurement. So you need a small digital scale. So, okay. Okay, we actually need 500 grams. Now, this is about 810 grams, if you can see, as you can see it. So, I'll take some portion out of it, little by little. Okay, still have about 600 grams there. Okay, so we actually have about 501 grams. So it's still not bad. Okay, about 500 grams exactly. So pour it on our sawdust. Then we need 100 grams of calcium carbonate. So, okay. Now, you can spread it so that it's not just going to be in one place. Now, once this is done, the next thing you do, anytime you see a big chips like this, just try to remove it. So once this is done, you mix it up. Make sure it is well mixed. Mix it up thoroughly. So after mixing thoroughly, now we will add some water. And this particular uh, this particular stage require consciousness and more care, in the sense that you won't want to over drench it, because if you over wet it, it's going to forfeit the whole thing. So just make sure uh, you watch this place closely. This is a very important stage. So I need some water. You will not just want to pour water anyhow that it will be over drenched. So the water must not be too much and must not be too small. I'll show you how we test for the water once we are through with this step. J.
3.
So when you've added your water, now at this stage you don't need to rush, that you just pour water and you just mix it up like that. No, you must be patient enough here, because you have the water gradually. Because if the water is too much, it becomes a problem. If the water is not enough, it is a problem. So, but the question is, you ask me, then how do I know if the water is not enough or is not too much? So there is a simple test you do for that now. Now what you will do is, after mixing it at each time, at each stage or at each step that you add water, just pick or take some portion of it. Make sure you squeeze it very hard, as in you press it hard. Now, once you press it hard and you see that water is dripping out of it, then the water is too much. But once you press it and it's not dripping, it means the water is not too much. Now you need to know if the water is enough. Then once you open your fist, you discover that it comes together like a mold. Then you move it around. If it easily breaks up, then it means the water is not enough. Then you add some more water. But once you move it back and forth for some time and it doesn't break up, then it means the water is enough. So that is how you go about your adding water, and that is that about that. And once we have mixed it, we have mixed those three material, you've added your water, the next thing to do is to bag them. And in our previous video, I think I mentioned something called block. Now, because at some point I won't be using the word bag any longer, so that you begin to familiarize yourself with the terms, some simple terminologies that we'll be using. Now, we will be bagging them into block now. Now, what we need for that is nylon, that's block nylon bag. Now, that's those nylon that they used to bag blocks. They used to do block, yeah. Then we need rubber band. Now, you will see the reason for this rubber band now, and there are some things that will not be mentioned at this stage, so that you can really get it when we get to that stage, so that there won't be so much confusion, there won't be so much about what are we really saying about that. But what we will do is we will bag them now. Now, first, you could have just bagged it this way, but what you will notice is if you back it like this, there will be some breaking at this end. So oftentimes we tie the bottom of the nylon, that's the tail end of the nylon, then you turn it over, then you start filling the bags. Now we will be bagging in 1 kgs. That's like I said the other time, you need a digital scale so that you can have accuracy. Okay, now pay attention to this place, please. Once you bag like this, make sure you stack it this way to the well, that's when you look at it, there won't be any form of breaking. When I mean breaking, I mean, I want to quickly show. Okay, good. Make sure there is no breaking like this in your blocks. Otherwise, when you spawn it, when you plant your seed, let me use that word for now. When you plant your seed, so if there is a breaking, there is a possibility that when the mushroom is spreading, when the mycelium is spreading, it might stop here and just find a way to the other place. But always make sure that when you are stacking your bag, make sure that there is no breaking point in your bags. Then you can press it down a little bit. Don't apply too much pressure. Just press it down a little bit. Then you scale it. We'll be doing 1 kg. Depending on the size of your nylon or your bag, you can do more than that. Now we have 1 kg and 40 gram here. So you can either leave it like that or you take it out. Or at least average of 1 kg. Okay, we'll be leaving it like this. Then you pick another bag. So after stacking your bags, I just did some few ones for example purpose. So once you stack your bag and you make sure that there are no breaking points there, the next thing is you get PVC like this. This is like normal pipe, as in for water. So you put it in. Turn the nylon over. You get a rubber band. You get rubber band. Then use it to hold it down. Now once you are done with this, you plug it. You can either use tissue, foam, or cotton wool. Now, but for cost effectiveness, foam might be more effective for you. If you're using cotton wool, it's going to be more expensive. So you can get foam and use them as your plug. Once you cut it to small sizes like this, you plug it this way. Once you plug it, you take it aside. Take the next button, and you plug it. Now, once you plug it this way, now, a quick one. The essence of this plugging is to allow breathing. Now, because, okay, I don't think I've mentioned this. Mushroom breathe the same way human being breathe. They take in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. Now, but the reason we need to plug it is that to disallow either ants, flies, or other thing to perch on it. So once you plug it like this, the next stage is sterilizing, and this is where we will be stopping for today for this section. So in our next section, we will be actually talking about sterilizing and spawning. Now, spawning, I mean planting your seed. That same day, I will try as much as possible to show you how to disinfect your incubating room and your fruiting room. But at this stage, the most important part you need to disinfect first is your incubating room, because immediately after sterilizing, your blocks will be going into your incubating room, which is where you you'll be inoculating and keeping them for incubation. Or sometimes, depends on your capacity, you can design another room for inoculating. Inoculating actually means you planting the seed. Now, you can get another room depending on your capacity. You can get another room for inoculating, or you can use the same room, just like we are doing at the moment. We use the same room we use for incubation to as well plant our seed. So just like I promised early this week, that we will be concluding the part of the mushroom production that we started some weeks ago. So I quickly want to show you guys the procedure of unloading your bags from the sterilizing room. Now, as you can see, the bags in the drum, they have been sterilized. We sterilized them the day before yesterday. We leave them for 24 hours to cool down. Because if you don't leave them to cool down for at least 24 hours, if you put your spawn, it might kill your spawn. The heat might kill your spawn. So you have to leave them for 24 hours to cool down at least. Now, when you want to unload the drum, now, number one thing you need to do is every other thing that you'll be needing in the incubating room, you must have disinfected them with hypo solution. All you just need to do is take some portion of water, that's probably about 9 liters of water to 1 liters of hypo solution. Now, once you do that, every of your, either be it your bowl, your handkerchief, your spoon, whatever you will be needing in the incubating room, I will mention some more of it when we get to into the incubating room. Now, once all those things, you must wash them with either detergent or something. And after that, you rinse them with hypo solution water. Now, once you do that, you take those things into the incubating room so that they don't get contaminated again. Now, once you are through with that, you come to your firehouse where you are doing your sterilizing. Now, you get a bowl of water like this. with hypo solution. We have started using this one. Now, once you do that, you put with a white handkerchief. Now, once you bring out a bag from your barrel or drum, once you bring out the bag, you clean the bag with the hypo solution using your handkerchief, just the way I'm doing it. Now, the reason we are doing this is just to reduce the risk of contamination at all costs. Fine, we both know that with the level of heat that these bags have passed through, there can't be any living organism in them any longer. But at the same time, as we are talking, as we are bringing the bags out, we don't know what is flying in the air. So that's why we are doing this, so that we won't take anything that might have any form of organisms into the incubating room. So that's why we are doing this. So we'll see you guys in the incubating room. Okay. Okay. Welcome back, guys. So like I said in the earlier video, that we'll be concluding the part of the mushroom production today. Now, quickly I will be going through what you need in your incubating room. As you can see, we're already in the incubating room now. So I'll go through what you need. I've shown you the blocks before. These are the blocks that I want to inoculate, that will be inoculated. I've shown you how we unload them from the drum, from the firehouse down to this place. Then that's one. Then two, you need a bowl. A bowl. The function of this bowl is to pour your spawn. Now, to make it easy, because by the time you open up your spawn, you see that it's solid. It's not like a fresh grain. It's not loosened up. So you need to break it up using a spoon, because a spoon or a kind of an iron, a tiny iron rod. We are going to be making use of spoon today. Now, once you break it up in the bottle, you pour it inside the bowl to make your inoculation faster and easy. Then you also need a white handkerchief. Now, like I said, all the material you will bring into your incubating room must be well disinfected using hypo solution. If you notice very well, you see that I keep mentioning disinfection. In this business, contamination is the major challenge. Every other challenge can be worked around. But if you have issue with contamination, it might be a big problem to your business. So make sure every damn thing you're bringing into your incubating room is disinfected. Then again, you need a bottle like this for your disinfectant. Now, the disinfectant we're using is hydrogen peroxide. You can as well use Moco spirit. Now, once you get this, you pour it inside the bottle like this. Now, shortly you will see the reason why we are doing all that. You see the purpose of this shortly, because it still boils down to limiting the risk of contamination. So I'll quickly go over it again. Your spawn, your primary need in your incubating room. A disinfectant, that's hydrogen peroxide inside a bottle like this. Then a bowl where you can pour your spawn into. You need a spoon to loosen up the spawn. Then you need a white handkerchief. Again, all these guys must be disinfected. using hypo solution before you bring them into your incubating room. Okay, we'll be moving to the next stage now. Jay, come please. Now, first thing, what we'll do now is I'll pick up my handkerchief, I'll spray it with disinfectant, then okay, then you clean your bowl with it. I believe you understand why I'm doing this right now. So once you clean your bowl, you return the handkerchief to somewhere good. Then after that, you pick a bottle of spawn. Okay. You clean it up so that if there is any contamination around it, you kill it. Okay. This is how your spawn should look like. See, it's fully white, well ramified. As you can see, some of it are even already growing out of the bottle. So it's a very good sign. Now, once you do that, I have to clean my spoon again. I have to clean my spoon too. So, because despite the fact that I clean all these objects before we bring them here, we are still cleaning them over and over again, should in case. So, so as you can see, I'm breaking the spoon up using the spoon gradually. Now, once you are done breaking it up into your bowl, keep this one side, then you disinfect your own hand too. So you have to disinfect your hand. Once you have done that, you can use your hand to break it up. Break them up. Use your hand to break them up. Now, once you have done that, you disinfect your hand again. Then you start picking your bag one after the other. You remove your phone, the foam rather.
This one we put na 40 days for Hello. Wow, wow, wow. That was like an amazing class. An amazing class. Thank you, Mr. Proki, for that one. Like that was really massive. Really massive. Like it was so detailed. Like how long did it take you to make all of those videos?
Wow, that video took us about a month plus. You know,
Wow.
mushroom has about a month plus, about 5 weeks. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's massive. Like you took 5 weeks just to make a video for us for this program. Like we really appreciate you. That's massive. Like so somebody asked a question. Let's just jump into the question and answer session so that everybody can go. Because the totally like it has really been very detailed. I must really appreciate you for your effort you've put into
Thank
this,
you so much.
like
Thank
helping
you
us
so
to
much.
achieve our goal, helping farmers succeed in agriculture. Like mushroom farming, how profitable is mushroom farming? Somebody asked that question. I think it's somebody asked how profitable is mushroom farming. Can you just give us a hint?
Oh well, mushroom farming in Nigeria is an untapped business most people are not aware of. You understand?
Yes.
In Ghana, we have a lot of people doing mushrooms there, but in Nigeria, there is no much awareness about it. So,
Mm.
currently speaking, Nigeria, the current consumption in Nigeria alone is about 1,500 metric tons, of which what we produce
Wow.
in Nigeria is just 300 tons. You understand? So, mushroom
Wow.
business
Wow.
is a very big business because it has so many health benefits, as we all know. It is very nutritional. It has high vitamins, high proteins. It boosts the immune system as well. Right now, we have issues of coronavirus and other viruses. So mushroom business is a very big business because it helps to
Mm. Change the name to Buzz Jubilee.
viruses. And mushroom is a good boost for the immune system as well. And so mushroom is a good delicacy too in cooking. So the demand is very high, and the profit margin is about 40% and above. The return on investment, the return on investment keeps increasing over time.
All
Are
right.
you
All
with
right.
me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm with you.
It keeps yes, it keeps increasing over time. And the business is so broad because you can venture into producing just the spawn that is the seed for the mushroom, or you
Yeah.
can even go as far as producing only the blocks, as in the ramified blocks, which is the white blocks, and you can
Wow.
even do the whole process together. So you can still produce your spawn by yourself, you produce your blocks, and you produce your mushroom. So it's a
Oh,
very
wow.
big business for you to, it's a very big business that there are so many ways you can play into it. And you can be also an end user. You understand? Like what we do now, we
Hmm.
have a mushroom spice we're producing. That's one of
Spice.
the reasons. Yeah, it's spice, mushroom spice. Why
Wow.
we're doing this is so it will be all over the market. Most people think mushroom is for the rich, but we want to
Mm.
change that mentality. You understand? So we're trying to
Very
make it,
fascinating.
yes, affordable by even to those even living below $2 per day. You understand? So when you
Yeah.
have your mushrooms like Maggi and the thyme and curry, when it's available like that in smaller quantities, it will be.
Mm.
So there are so many ways you can indulge yourself in this business. It's so lucrative. That is
Right. Right.
why we're doing this video as well, this training to educate people about it. Yes.
Nice, nice. So, you said so much about the market potential in mushroom farming, but Lawal Adewale also asked a question. He said, "How do you get buyers? Now that we know that yes, there's a market for it. So, how do we get the buyers for these mushroom products?"
Wow. The buyers are also looking for you as well as you're looking for them. That is why we're doing this training, because our demand is more than what we can supply. You understand? So we
Yeah.
want to train people with just a little amount of money. We want to train people. You understand? So we have markets.
rather. You can sell in restaurants, you can sell in Chinese restaurants, you can sell in hotels as well.
Wow.
So
That
there is a large market for mushroom. It cannot be overemphasized. The market is really
okay.
broad. And you can also export mushrooms, oyster. And the particular mushroom we deal with is oyster mushroom. It is also exportable as well. Yes.
Okay, okay. All right. So I think that's more like all the questions we've got so far. Let me see if we have any other question. So guys, if you have any other question, just drop it in the comment section immediately so we can project them. Somebody asked the question. He said, "Do we produce mushroom in Ibadan? Are there mushroom position producers in Ibadan?"
Yeah, I'm very close to Ibadan. I'm at Oyo State. I'm in Oyo State rather. I'm in Ibarapa North, yeah. Igbora area to be precise. So I'm
Wow.
very close. Yes. But they might have other people that produce mushroom in Ibadan, but I'm not aware of anyone. But I'm
Oh,
very close to as well. Yeah.
all right. So, is there any other question? Let me just ask the audience, if in the absence of any other question, do you have any other special thing for us, like a package or anything you want to show
Yes,
us?
exactly. Currently now we are open to we're trying to organize a training. Just that creating awareness is very difficult because people don't tend to know about mushrooms. That is why we're also doing this training free of charge. You understand? So this is just to create an awareness that we are organizing a training, a practical training in our farm. Yes, in our farm here in Oyo State. So, and the training goes for 30,000 naira. The training includes you have a year mentorship. Will help you set up your farm. We'll give you two spawns to start up your farm, and we also
Wow.
buy back from you. We also buy back from you. You understand? To tell you how much we need for the mushrooms, we buy back from you as well. And if you have a number of 20, 10 to 20 members, we can also get a cooperative. You understand? Where we can, help ourselves,
Yes.
get loan, expand our business, share ideas and challenges as well. So it is a community we want to grow, you understand, since it's still at the infant stage in Nigeria. Hello?
Hello. Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you. So, there is opportunity for everyone who wishes to, venture into the business. Okay, I think we have a question here. Do you mind taking that? You say, what is the percentage of profits one can get from mushroom farming in a year?
That question is kind of tricky because it depends on how you produce. You understand? It depends on the volume you produce. Because if you produce a ton of mushroom, for instance, within a year, that is what you be. So it depends on how you want to play it, but you can make as well as 40 to 100% return on investment, like I said earlier. So it's dependent on how you want to, the volume you want to venture into. You know, your capacity will determine your profits. So it depends on your capacity. Your capacity will determine your profit, like I said earlier. For instance, now if you are able to produce a ton of mushrooms, you can make up to a million naira. Yes, you
Wow.
can make up to a million
Big
naira.
ton.
Ye- Yes,
Whoa, whoa.
it's as simple as
Massive.
that.
Okay, so we have another question from Samuel Eluchi. He said, do you have a database of mushroom producers in Nigeria?
Sure, we have an association of mushroom farmers of Nigeria. We have an association in Nigeria. Yes,
Okay.
we do have an association. Yes.
Wow. Great, great. So let's see if we have another question here. Pastor John 18 says, when is mushroom ready for harvest? I believe it's more like the time frame. When is it ready for harvest? How long?
Okay, it takes about 4 weeks.
Mm.
3 to 4 weeks. Yes, it depends on one, your watering. During the dry season, you need to water your blocks.
Regularly.
The blocks is a ramified one you hang outside when it's ramified. So
Yes.
you need to at least water it 3 times a day. So during the raining
Oh,
season, it takes lesser time, but at least maximum of a month. Yes, maximum of
All
four
right.
weeks.
So that includes both the period of time where you get your sawdust and mix all of the sawdust together and then leave in the incubation room and then bring out. Is it the entire process that lasts 4 weeks or just the fruiting
Yeah.
that lasts 4 weeks?
No, the whole process before you start fruiting is 4 weeks. Then when you start harvesting, you can harvest for a particular block, like a block of mushroom can harvest for 3 months to 6 months. That means you'll be harvesting every
Hmm.
day because it's not
Wo-
something you just remove one. It keeps coming out. I don't know if you have an idea of mushroom, the way it comes out. So it keeps fruiting
Definitely.
like that for the next 6 months. Yes, keeps
Six
fruiting every
months.
day.
Oh,
Yes,
oh,
three to
great,
six.
great. All right. I don't know if we still have another question, but if that's or maybe you want to retaliate that again. You said some exciting stuff about training people who are interested in this business. Maybe you can go over it again one more time before we call it a wrap for today.
Okay, like we said earlier, because of the demand we have, and because of the finished products we're using our mushrooms for, we're using our mushrooms for mushroom spice. Because we want to be able to penetrate into the whole Nigerian market and even export our products as a finished product. So what we're
All right.
doing now, we're giving out our training for the minimum cost of 30,000 per person. You understand? In our farm, practically, and we can
All
help you
right.
set up your farm. We can help you set up your farm. We'll give you a year mentorship after training. We'll give you
Hmm.
two spawns after the training, and we'll buy back your produce from you. So you don't have a cost to find where to sell. We have an agreement. Once you sign up on the training, we have an agreement with you to buy back your mushrooms from you.
Wow,
Yes.
wow, wow, great.
And we're
There are a lot of
also, and
questions.
we're also Yes, and we're also
Okay.
creating a cooperative as well to enable us help each other so we can access loans to expand your mushroom farm as well. Yes, so we have
Okay.
all those in place.
Wow, great, great. Uh, Mr. Cookie, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. There are a lot of questions coming in, like say, why does mushroom farming require low light and oxygen? I don't know if you want to answer that because I'm looking at our time.
Well,
Maybe 30
well,
seconds.
well, okay. Well, that is how it was created. I don't know. Normally,
Okay.
mushroom grows in a damp environment. You understand? That is why it
Hmm.
needs low oxygen and less sunlight because it
Yeah.
does not need that. It's not a crop that needs chlorophyll. It doesn't need chlorophyll. You
Okay.
understand? You can see from
Yes.
the
Yes.
appearance, it's whitish. And what mushroom is not a plant per se. It's a fungus. You understand? It is a fungus. It's
Okay.
not
Yeah.
plant. It's not a normal plant. Yes. So mushroom
Hmm.
is not really an agricultural this thing. It is called fungoculture. You understand? So it's not like
Okay.
a yes. It's
Normal
not like the
plants.
normal plant we have. Yes. So we don't
Yeah.
need direct
All right.
sunlight. Yes, and it
Okay.
needs a
Okay.
damp environment. Yes, to produce properly.
All right. Somebody asked again, what's the minimal capital rate for production? How much do you need to start the
Okay,
business?
okay. I missed that part. Mushroom farming is a very low capital intensive business. You understand? As
Business.
low as hundred
Yes.
thousand naira, as low as 100,000 naira, you can start planting your mushroom. But mind
Wow.
you, that does not include your farmhouse. Like you need to build your
Okay. Yes.
incubating
Yes.
room, and you need to build your fruiting room. You need to get
That's
your
definitely.
material. Yeah. So I'm not talking
Definitely.
about the asset. You understand? Like if you have
Okay.
your gas cooker, you have your drum, you have the basic things like your scale. You need your hook scale. Like the scale you hook and your digital scale for
Yes,
scaling.
yes,
So
yes.
there are some
Okay.
basic materials you need. Yeah. Apart from that, as with
That's
low
good.
as 50 to 100,000 naira, you can start mushroom farming. Once you have those things in place, which are not even capital intensive. So let's say roughly about 200 to 250K, you can start mushroom farming, buying the whole
Hmm.
materials and setting up your incubation room as well. Yes, but you need to have your land, like the space you're using. That's just that's the major cost, your land and your structure. But apart from that, every other thing is very cheap. No,
Okay,
like
okay.
your raw material, like the sawdust. Sawdust you can get that at no cost from the sawmill. Your
Sawmill,
wheat
from the
offer,
sawmill.
yeah, from the sawmill. Your wheat offer is just 4,800 naira for 50 kg bag, which you use for a very long time. Then
Hmm.
your calcium carbonate is very cheap. With 1,000 naira, you can get more than enough. And all you need is just basically what you see every day. So it's not.
Great, great.
And
So
it saves you the risks of Fulani attack and the rest. Since you can do this in your house, you don't need to go to the farm in the bush. Yeah. So
that's great, great, great business there that you are pushing out. Like we've really learned so much from you, and then you taking your time to answer our questions is something that we truly, truly appreciate. So thank you for your time today. So just to reiterate,
problem.
Mr. Cook said is organizing a training, right? It's a training. They are giving out training to as many people who are interested in joining the mushroom farming business, and not just you learning how to farm. You are coming live. You do live and online too, right?
True, true. Yes, we do
Okay,
offline
great.
and online.
So both online, offline, or you want him to come to your location and inspect everything, he's going to take that for you. At the end of the training, you get 2 cups of sperm, which you can use to start up your own business. And not just that, he's going to guide you throughout because you have 1 year, an entire year of consultancy. That's massive, like for any business, entire year of consultancy. After which, when you're done producing, it buys back your entire product. Like, can you buy everything? Are you sure Proki can buy everything so that these people will be very sure of what they're investing in?
I say we have more than what we can supply. That's the honest truth. We have
Wow,
a lot of offer. Yeah, like in spa now, they need about 10 tons of mushrooms, but we
mushrooms.
couldn't meet up. Yes, 10 tons of mushroom. We couldn't meet up. And once you cannot meet up, they cut you off. That's just it.
Oh,
So imagine you have a community of mushroom growers, and we're able to give
yeah,
them 10 tons every month, and it is consistent. What they want is consistent delivery.
consistency.
Consistent,
That's
yes,
true.
consistency. It's not when you do
Wow,
10
wow,
tons today, tomorrow you bring 5 tons. They don't want that. So a
wow,
lot
wow.
of a lot of big supermarkets at Lekki, Abeokuta, you can
Okay.
the demand is high. You can even sell by yourself. You might not even want to
Hmm.
sell to. Yes, that's the truth. You might not even want to sell to me, but we buy
Okay,
back.
somebody asked,
We buy back.
all
Yeah.
right, someone is asking, are you open to investments? Like somebody, they have so much money they want to put into the business, but they don't want to practice the farming. Is it possible
It's
to
very
just
possible
invest in
as
your
well.
company?
Yes, we're open to investment because it will help us enlarge our farm as well. It will enable us to increase our capacity. That's what we're also looking at as well. Yes, we can
All
help.
right.
We
So
can. Yes.
how can someone contact you for such for like investment plans? Like, do you have like phone number, email address, or websites you can visit?
Yes, I can see my number displaying there on the screen, but I can still call it
Oh,
out.
great.
Yes. Yeah, my phone number, my WhatsApp number is 081
All right.
199
Okay.
081
Mm-hmm.
19972. Then
All right.
our email address is support@prokeymerchant.com.
Okay.
Support@prokeymerchant.com. Yes.
All right. So for those of you looking for the contact has been scrolling on the screen all the while. So you just look down in the screen, you see the green news flash passing there. So you read the number, get the number, you can contact Mr. Cookie directly and then get involved in the mushroom business. I want us to go because this time we are really staying longer than supposed, but there are still many questions. So I'll just take this as the last question, and after this we are closing. We are closing up. All right. So there's a question I just saw right now. Can you just put that on the screen again? You see, how long would the block stay in the dark room? That's what Araromi Adeleke is asking.
Between three weeks, between 3 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on the season. If it's dry season, it tends to stay up to a month. That's 4 weeks. But during the rainy season, it is faster. It doesn't need too much heat. Yes, it needs a damp environment, not too hot, not too cold. Yes. So it depends on the season.
Okay. All right. So thank you once again. Thank you very much, Mr. Cookie Nathaniel, for joining us in this session. We are so happy. We are so elected to watch this program and to have you pour out your heart to us. And besides the pouring out your heart, you've giving us an opportunity to invest into mushroom farming and make a whole lot of money out of the business. So I'm going to be wrapping up right now. We are going to continue this series because there are lots of farming.
Right. The number is not correct. My number is not correct.
Okay, it's supposed to be 0815
841 9972.
All right. So please, the correct scrolling down is correct. The one scrolling down the screen is correct, please.
Yes, correct. It's correct.
Yes. All right, great. So that'll be all for us from now. We are going to see you in the next session. Don't miss it for any reason. Like, make sure you're in the next session. Come with your notes, come with your pen, invite your friends, share this broadcast with everybody. You don't know who you'll be helping with this opportunity. Somebody has the money but are not invested in agriculture because they don't know what to do and how to start. But here, Mr. Nathaniel Cookie is presenting us an offer, and is offering to help us and even get the market because he's buying your entire product from you. So this is like a good offer. You just contact him. The contact is on the screen, support@prokimerchants.com, or you call his phone number, which has been screened down on the screen also. Please do so, and then we'll see you in the next session. Goodbye, Africa. Let's continue to push this mandate of eliminating hunger in Africa, as well as ensuring that farmers get a share. Like, there's opportunity, but we are not succeeding. Why? So that's why we are advocating really hard for farmers to become success in this business. So until I see you next time, it's bye from this end. Bye. Mr. Cookie, do you have a last word for our people?
Yes.
All right.
Please, yes. Please venture in agriculture because that's the only way for sustainable development. Yes. Thank you so much for your opportunity.
All right, for those who have not subscribed to this channel, please hit the red subscribe button right now. Hit it right now as I'm watching. Right now, hit the red subscribe button. So for those who missed the live broadcast, this would be up for a while. This video is going to be up for a while, after which they're taking it down. But for now, it's going to be up, so you have to rewatch immediately before we take it down. So in the absence of any other questions or comments, it's a wrap from us. Bye-bye. I don't end broadcast.
People to watch.
As him said now.